My child, listen to my voice in the quiet corners of your heart. I know the silent ache you have carried, the feeling of being a whisper in a world that only seems to hear the shouts. I have seen every tear that has fallen when no one else was looking, and I have heard every heartfelt cry that you thought was lost to the emptiness. For a long time, you have felt unseen, unheard, as if your very essence was invisible to the world around you. Does a sense of pressing time weigh on you, my beloved? Does the calendar on the wall feel like a judgment, each passing year a reminder of dreams you laid to rest? Do you look in the mirror and see the passage of seasons, and does a quiet voice, a deceitful whisper, tell you that the time for your unique calling, the season for your most vibrant purpose, has slipped by unnoticed? Do you wonder if you missed the moment I had planned for you? Understand this with every fiber of your being. Your presence here, in this exact moment, reading these words, is not a random occurrence. It is a divine appointment. This message was not cast out into the void, hoping to find a home. It was aimed directly at your heart, intended specifically for you, in the very circumstances you find yourself in this day. Whether you are greeting the first gentle rays of the morning light with a cup of tea in your hands, or you are resting in the deep, velvet stillness of the night, listen closely now, my cherished child. Your being here holds a profound and sacred meaning. What I am about to share with you has been held in reserve, kept in the treasury of my heart, waiting for this precise moment in your journey. This day is not a normal day. It is not just another rotation of the earth. This is a specific moment in the unfolding of my plan for you. I have designated a significant spiritual gateway, an opening in the heavens for those I have summoned. If these words resonate deep within you, if they feel like a key turning in a lock you had long forgotten, know that you are included among them. You are one of my chosen ones for this hour. There is a truth I must impress upon you, a reality so vital that it could reshape the rest of your days. If you allow this specific opportunity, this sacred window of understanding, to slip away, a potential I placed within you from the very beginning may not unfold in the glorious manner I have always envisioned. This gateway I am opening for you now, this invitation into a deeper truth of who you are, will not remain open forever. It is a moment of grace, a time for awakening. Even as I speak these words to you through this page, I sense a stirring within your spirit. You feel it, don't you? Yes, that profound inner movement, that sudden sense of knowing that feels both surprising and deeply familiar. That is not a random emotion. That is not wishful thinking. That is the assurance of my nearness. That is the resonance of your spirit recognizing my voice. The long period of anticipation, the years of quiet waiting and wondering, are nearing their end. The time has finally arrived for me to reveal all that I have been preparing in you and for you. Have you ever quietly wondered, in moments of reflection, why some individuals appear to navigate life with such effortless grace, while you have borne weights that would challenge the most resilient of spirits? Have you questioned why every single step forward you have taken felt so hard won, paid for with a price of tears and toil that others seem to be spared? Have you sensed a fundamental difference in your own nature, a separation even when you were standing in a crowd, a feeling of being set apart even amidst those who should have understood the depths of your heart? Listen closely now, my child, and let this truth settle over you like a warm blanket. You were recognized and singled out by me before you ever took your first breath. Before the foundations of the world were laid, your name was spoken in the halls of eternity. My words today are for those among you who have traveled through life for many years, perhaps 7, 8, or even 9 decades, silently questioning if you somehow took a wrong turn and bypassed the course I had laid out for you. You have watched those younger than you, full of vigor and ambition, pursue their aspirations while you quietly persuaded yourself that your moment had gone by, that your ship had already sailed. You have paused in moments of stillness, looking back over the long passage of your life, and perhaps you have thought, "Did I truly use the years you granted me, Lord? Did I make them count?" But consider this. What if every trial you have ever faced, every season of sadness that brought you to your knees, every financial hardship that stretched your faith to its limit, every lonely night you wept unseen, questioning if anyone in the universe truly perceived your pain? What if all of that was not the outcome, but the preparation? What if every single one of those moments was a deliberate and necessary part of your readying? Before your mother held you close to her heart, before she even sensed the first flutter of your presence growing within her, I had already recognized you. I had already marked you for my grand design. You were not simply an idea, not merely a wish. You were singled out, appointed, and specifically selected for a purpose that only you could fulfill. You feel that stirring within you again now, do you not, my beloved? That is not a product of your mind playing tricks on you. It is a deep, cellular knowing. It is your spirit beginning to recall the ancient truths that your intellect, bruised and battered by the world, may have obscured over the years. For a long, long time, you have concentrated on simply managing, on getting by, on surviving. You have convinced yourself that pursuing grand aspirations was a luxury for individuals who were younger, for someone else entirely, someone more capable, someone whose path had been free of your mistakes and your detours. But those I have singled out, those I have mocked as my own, were never intended merely to endure. You were created to bring about profound change. You were created to be a vessel, to carry my illumination into the shadowed places of this world. You were created to voice encouragement into the heart of the most challenging circumstances. You were designed to be a testament of my faithfulness in a world drowning in doubt. My timing, however, does not always align with the impatient clock of human expectation. What appears to you as a postponement, as a delay, as a missed opportunity, is in fact an intricate and essential part of my larger design. You have spent years, perhaps even decades, convinced that you were too aged, too tired, too damaged, too broken for any meaningful impact. But what if I was simply waiting for the world to arrive at this very point of profound need? A point where it genuinely requires the unique wisdom, the deep empathy, and the unshakable faith that only you possess because of the journey you have walked. What if the lines that time has etched upon your face are not signs of decay, but a map reflecting the richness of your experience and the depth of your wisdom? What if the signs of your many challenges, the scars you carry both seen and unseen, serve not as marks of failure, but as irrefutable evidence of your perseverance and my sustaining grace? What if the long and winding path you have walked, with all its thorns and shadows, is precisely what this generation needs to see in this very moment? Somewhere in the world right now, a young spirit is wrestling with the crushing conviction that they hold no value, that their life is meaningless. They require the narrative of your life to survive. They need the assurance that someone who has navigated the most demanding seasons of life and emerged with their trust still intact is standing firm. They do not require a story of flawlessness. They have seen enough of that curated perfection. They require the raw, honest confirmation that I uphold my commitments, that I keep my promises, even when the journey is extended and demanding beyond measure. Understand this profound truth which the adversary, the enemy of your soul, has sought to conceal from you for your entire life. Your whole existence has been a passage of acquiring trust through lived experience. Every single instance when a need was miraculously fulfilled just when you perceived no possible solution. Every connection, every friendship, every bond of love that endured trials it seemed utterly unlikely to withstand. Every health issue that tested your physical limits, yet ultimately fortified your spirit in ways you never imagined. Every single time you wished to surrender, to simply give up and let go, but somehow discovered the resolve to meet the coming day. That was not mere chance, my child. That was not just you being resilient. That was my hand readying you. I have been readying you for this exact time. Not because it signifies a conclusion, but because it signifies the end of your season of quietness. Not because your moments are expiring, but because your period of concealing yourself behind the mistaken conviction that you are too far gone, too old, too late, is finally drawing to a close. You did not overlook your appointed time. You did not miss your moment. Your specific moment was not lost in the past. It was intentionally preserved until the world was truly receptive to what you have to offer. It was held until this generation grew sufficiently in need of the profound understanding that arises solely from walking intimately with me across many decades of challenges. It was reserved until this era became desperate enough to finally heed the voices that have been proven, the spirits that have been shown to be trustworthy through the crucible of lived experience. Each soul you have grieved has taught you something invaluable about what holds true and eternal value. Each aspiration that did not manifest in the way you hoped has shown you something profound about the nature of authentic expectation and the beauty of surrender. Every single instance you felt overlooked by the world has taught you something crucial about the precision and perfection of my divine timing. You perceived yourself as simply advancing in age, growing older with each passing day. I, however, was making you prepared. I was forging you into a vessel of honor, fit for the Master's use. The summons that stirs within your spirit in this moment is not a recent development. It is a timeless call. It was woven into the fabric of your being before your birth, and it has been nathing, Zelenth, yet ever this precise instant when all that you have absorbed, all that you have endured, and all that you have become aligns perfectly with all that the world desperately requires to hear. This connection you feel is not happening through your ears. It is a communication from my spirit to your spirit. I do not disregard those I have summoned as they mature and gather years. I shape them, I refine them, I perfect them through the very path they walk. If your spirit is responding powerfully in this moment, if something deep within you is stirring to life after a long and quiet stillness, that is the instant you are recalling your true, eternal identity. That is the instant you are releasing the mistaken and heavy notion that your most impactful years reside in the past. Because what I am about to convey to you next will dissolve every justification, every excuse you have ever held for why you might be too delayed, too aged, or too common to be utilized by me in the most remarkable and world-changing ways. The matter was never one of your capability. It has always been about your availability and your willingness. Is your spirit prepared now to step fully and unreservedly into the light I am shining upon you? Let me share a truth with you that I know will resonate in the deepest chambers of your soul. Even before the foe, the adversary of all that is good and holy, even considered striking at your physical state, interfering with your family, or assaulting your belongings, he perceived the divine essence, the spark of my own glory that I had placed within you. And this perception, this recognition of your potential, troubled him deeply. Do you truly imagine that the relentless struggles you have faced over the past 40, 50, 60, or even more years were simply by chance? Do you think that sudden health challenge that came out of nowhere was just a case of unfortunate timing? Do you believe that losing someone so dear to you, watching those who follow you struggle with their own battles, or seeing your provisions lessen to a frightening degree? Do you believe that all of that was mere coincidence, a random series of unfortunate events? My beloved one, the challenges you faced were not a result of your own feebleness or some inherent flaw within you. Quite the opposite. They were a direct result of the fact that the dark realm, the kingdom of shadows, discerned the inextinguishable light of my spirit residing in you. I need you to grasp this reality with all your heart. The one who opposes me does not waste his time or expend his effort on those who pose no significant threat to his influence. His attacks are strategic. He targets those who carry a seed of greatness. But from the very start of your path on this earth, my precious 𝐾𝐾, the adversary has watched you with a wary and fearful eye. He sensed the purpose I had placed within your spirit, a purpose that you are only now beginning to understand more clearly. Difficulties were drawn to you not because you lacked strength, but because you carried something incredibly valuable, an inner resilience forged by my hand, capable of withstanding any trial he could throw your way. And yes, the shadows unleashed their worst against you. Loss that felt like it would tear you apart. Hardship that ground you down to dust. Betrayal that shattered your trust in humanity. But what the darkness, in all its cunning, failed to comprehend was this: every challenging experience did not shatter you as he intended. Instead, it reinforced the trust in me that I had already established deep within your spirit. Each trial became a new layer of foundation, making you stronger, more steadfast, more deeply rooted in my love. Others observing you from the outside might assume you navigate life with a simple, natural ease, possessing some innate resilience they lack. They did not witness the countless times you felt burdened beyond all measure, when the weight of the world felt physically crushing. They did not see the quiet moments in the dead of night when you were questioning if I still saw you, if I even knew your whereabouts, if my promises were still true for you. They did not see you staring into the abyss of utter despair, wondering if letting go, if simply giving up, would be the easier path. Yet you did not let go. You remained. You persevered. You held on. Do you know why? Because there is a core within you, a holy fire I placed there myself that the adversary has been trying to extinguish for a very long time. And his efforts, my child, are failing. They have always failed. Let me speak plainly now about something that might resonate so deeply it makes you weep. How often have you felt overlooked, passed over for opportunities, or simply invisible in a room full of people? How many times have you looked at your own reflection and wondered, with a heavy heart, if your most significant contributions are already behind you, relegated to the pages of the past? How often have you observed the world changing at a dizzying pace and felt that your presence, your wisdom, your very existence no longer matters? That feeling, my child, is not a natural consequence of your years. It is a meticulously crafted strategy employed by the one who opposes me. For a long, long time, he has been speaking calculated untruths directly to your mind, whispering them in your moments of vulnerability. You are past your prime. You no longer matter. Your season has officially ended. No one values the perspective of someone with so many years. Your experiences, your stories, they hold no lasting significance in this new world. But I tell you, and you must know this as a foundational truth, every single one of those suggestions is a trick, a deception, a lie sent directly from the realm of shadows. Your accumulated years are not an impediment. They are your credentials. They are your preparation. Each line upon your face is not a mark of decline. It tells a story of perseverance. It is evidence of struggles you have weathered and storms you have survived. What might seem to you like limitations, a body that moves more slowly, a memory that is not as sure, are actually glorious demonstrations of my sustaining power that held you firm when others would have surely fallen. You have passed through periods of the most intense testing, fires of affliction that would have consumed anyone not under my protection. What seemed like a breaking down was actually a refining. What felt like a complete collapse was actually a holy building up. I was making you ready, for instance, to offer profound comfort to those who are experiencing unimaginable loss, allowing you to draw from the deep well of comfort you received directly from me in your own dark nights of the soul. I was teaching you, through your own seasons of lack, how to lean entirely on my strength when your own was utterly insufficient. Every single thing that sought to dismantle you was, in fact, being used by my hand to build something essential and beautiful within you. Something the world desperately needs right now. Your difficulties were never without reason. They served a divine purpose. Your pain was never accidental. It was always part of a master plan. Listen carefully, my cherished child, for this is the heart of the matter. Your most profound sorrows became the very bedrock for your deepest capacity to help and to heal. That time of deep, inconsolable grief that nearly overwhelmed you all those years ago. It was equipping you to recognize the subtle distress in another soul's eyes and to offer support without a single word needing to be spoken. That season of profound financial emptiness that left you with almost nothing. It was showing you, beyond any doubt, that I am your true and only source when everything else in this world fails. That painful betrayal by someone you trusted, the one that wounded your spirit so deeply. It was teaching you how to extend unconditional love freely and without reservation, because you intimately understand the searing hurt of being left behind. The adversary thought he was destroying you, but I was forming you. He believed he was writing the final chapter of your story, but I was simply turning the page to a new and even more glorious part of your journey. Do you know what truly troubles the shadows concerning you now? It is not your physical vigor or your youthful energy. It is the fact that you have been proven by the most severe testing, and you remain upright. It is that you have traveled through the deepest darkness and have discovered through experience that there is nothing there to truly fear when I am with you. It is that you have learned to rely on me with a quiet and desperate trust, even when the way ahead is completely unclear. And that kind of reliance, my child, is a mighty and terrifying force against the entire realm of shadows. But here is what is unfolding right now, in this very season. A particular moment is drawing near, a season I have appointed from the beginning of time to bring forth everything I have been nurturing within you through all those challenging, painful, and beautiful years. The deep preparation is nearing its end. The period of proving is almost done. The question that now stands before you, the question upon which your future hinges, is this: are you prepared to grasp the deep and glorious purpose behind everything you have lived through to arrive precisely here, at this very threshold? This is not merely talk. This is not just a comforting sentiment. This is a boundary line in the spirit that you are stepping over as you read these words. It saddens my spirit beyond measure whenever I hear those thoughts of self-doubt echo in your mind. Can you truly believe that I, the one who spoke the cosmos into existence with a word, the one who knows every star by name, is somehow done with you simply because you have gathered years and the wisdom that comes with them. Listen closely, my beloved child. This coming season is not a foretelling of more trouble. It is a sacred marker. It is the moment I have set apart to stir something profound within those I have selected. Something the world, in its hurry and its blindness, might have overlooked, but that the havens have always remembered and cherished. Do you perceive the grand design I am revealing to you? Do you grasp the magnificent truth I am speaking directly to your spirit? It means you have not missed your moment. It means I entrusted you with the unique capacity to endure hardship. It means I knew from the very beginning that you would remain firm and faithful when those with fewer years and less experience might have given up and turned away. It means your journey, your trials, your tears, your wisdom, all of it. It's the perfect curriculum for making you ready for what lies just ahead. But now, let us bring this closer to your own heart, to your own life. This season unfolding right now is where your true story, the one I have been writing all along, truly begins. Do you find yourself dwelling on moments you see as lost opportunities? Do thoughts arise about choices you wish you had made differently? Do you carry the heavy weight of feeling that you fell short of what you could have done, what you could have been? How many of you view yourselves through the harsh lens of what seems to be lacking, instead of recognizing the incredible strength that I know is within you? How many have listened when the world and its voices suggested that your most impactful days are far behind you? Stop, just stop. Cease that inner monologue right now. Have you ever truly wondered why you remain? Why you endured trials that could have and should have crushed you? The painful separation, the relentless struggles with finances, the frightening concerns about your health, the suffocating sorrow of less. Why are you still here, still drawing breath, when some who seemed so much more robust and prepared are now gone? It is because I have been meticulously shaping you, molding you, and preparing you precisely for this season. This period of your life is not about you instantly altering everything around you on a grand scale. The world is not waiting for another person without experience, full of untested and naive ideas. It is crying out for those who have faced the fiercest hardships and have still held on to me. It desperately needs souls whom I have mended after they were fractured into 1,000 pieces. This season will not change the entire world immediately, but it will change you. And as you are changed, my beloved child, as you finally and fully occupy the person I have been guiding you to become over the course of a lifetime, things in your immediate vicinity will begin to rearrange themselves. Those closest to you, your family and your friends, will notice a new light in your eyes, a new peace in your demeanor. Others nearby, your neighbors and your community, will begin to ask questions. People will be drawn to you, curious about what is different in you, what has shifted. And my child, in that moment, you will understand why. This specific era I have mocked, this moment I have readied you for, is when the aspect of you that the world did not see, but that I have always cherished and protected, finally stirs to glorious life. This season belongs to you, my child, not at some distant point in the future, but right now, in this very moment. A misleading and destructive whisper has spoken falsehoods to you for far too long. It has suggested that you are past your prime, that you are too tired, that your opportunity has irrevocably passed. But every single difficulty you have navigated, every storm you have weathered, confirms that your continued presence on this earth is for a purpose I still hold dear. I assure you, those who walk close to me, who dwell in the secret place of my presence, will retain their spiritual vitality even in their later years. They will remain lively, resilient, and fruitful. They will not be diminished, not set aside, not concluded, but will be brimming with my spirit and life. Hear me carefully, my beloved. This stirring to life, this reawakening, is not automatic. It calls for a conscious decision from you. It means you must finally and completely cease aligning with the voice that declares you are finished, and begin to align with the reality that I speak over you, which says you are only just beginning. This particular era was appointed in my eternal design to awaken the aspect of you that knows how to come before me with boldness and confidence, to care for others with a selfless and unconditional love, and to declare my truth with a quiet but unshakable authority. The part of you that has been made robust and strong by trials, the part of you that has been profoundly informed by hardship, the part of you that no longer seeks anyone's approval because you have already pleased the one whose view truly counts. That straightforward, genuine, and wholehearted turning towards me will alter the entire trajectory of the coming years for you. For this season is not the conclusion of your path. It is the glorious commencement of your most meaningful and impactful period. But what precisely am I inviting you into? How does this spiritual stirring appear in the practicalities of your everyday living? Your primary obstacle was never your external circumstances. It was not the forces outside of yourself, or even the direct attacks of the adversary. Your largest and most persistent difficulty has been the narrative, the story, that you have repeated to yourself in the silent times, unheard by any other human ear. You know this tale very well. You have recounted it to yourself so often that it feels like the truth. My chance has passed me by. I lack the energy or the resources to start anything new. It is simply too late for me to matter in any significant way. I am too flawed, too broken for God to ever work through me. But what if I were to reveal to you that every single phrase of that sorrowful tale is false, a lie originating from the pit of darkness itself? Pay close attention to me, my precious child. The words of defeat and despair that have been echoing in your mind are not genuinely yours. They are the sound of discouragement, a strategy of confinement intended to keep you small, quiet, and out of sight. Understand this critical truth. The misleading voice recognizes something powerful about you that you have completely overlooked in yourself. It knows that what you perceive as your greatest limitation is, in fact, your most significant asset when it is placed in my hands. Your years are not a restriction. They are your standing, your authority. The marks and scars you carry are not reasons you cannot be effective. They are the signs of your perseverance, your badges of honor. Your tiredness is not evidence that you are done. It is evidence that you have been engaged in worthwhile and difficult battles. The world observes someone with many years and sees them as concluding their story. I look upon that very same soul and see one whom I have perfectly equipped for the most crucial of tasks, one who has at last grasped how to proceed without fear and with complete trust in me. The world reads God's hands that show the passage of time and labels them as aged and weak. I see those same hands and declare them dignified and holy, sanctified by decades of devotion, assistance, loving service, and selfless generosity. Allow me to reveal a truth that may surprise you, that may even shock you. You are not near the conclusion at all. You are positioned at the very commencement of your most vital undertaking. I am the one who orchestrates every circumstance, who weaves all things together for the ultimate benefit of those who hold deep affection for me, those whom I have summoned according to my eternal design. Truly, I mean everything. Each sorrow, each letdown, every year you felt was unproductive and wasted. Every single aspiration that seemed to vanish into thin air. I have been meticulously bringing it all into place for this specific instant, for this particular activity, for this final and most glorious stage in your earthly existence. Yet here is what weighs upon my heart at this very moment. My beloved one, while you have been listening to and accepting falsehoods regarding your capabilities, others in your sphere of influence are experiencing real and desperate hardship without encountering the specific truth that only you are perfectly positioned to convey. Younger souls are maturing without the benefit of the deep insight and wisdom that resides within you. The groups and communities around you are facing struggles that require the very resilience you have cultivated over decades of triumph and trial. Do you still perceive yourself as too weary? Do you still feel that the moment has passed you by? I want you to grasp something now that will enable you to look beyond every single justification you have ever offered for your hesitation. You are not merely someone who is pausing or retiring. You are someone whom I have equipped for essential work that is hidden within the fabric of ordinary existence. You are someone bearing my most profound message as you simply move through your familiar surroundings. The deep understanding in your spirit did not originate from reading texts in a classroom. It arose from facing and overcoming real-life difficulties. The quiet calm you hold within your heart was not simply learned by observing others. It grew strong and unshakable from experiencing life's most turbulent challenges firsthand. The profound trust you now possess was not just handed to you as a gift. It was forged in the fires of deep uncertainty, in those moments where clinging to me was your only sure footing. I have been getting you ready for a season of fresh movement and renewed purpose. While that deceitful whisper urges you to slow down and retreat, the truth I have placed deep within you says, move forward. While the world suggests you step back into the shadows, I am calling you ahead into the light. Each morning you are given is irrefutable proof that your work on this earth is not yet complete. Every breath you take is my evidence that I still have things for you to do, people for you to touch. Each pulse of your heart is a divine rhythm guiding you toward what I intend for you, not away from it. You are not behind schedule. You are not late. You are ready precisely when I need you most, for this exact moment in history. The people all around you are desperately looking for the very things I have spent a lifetime placing within you. They need your steady presence in the midst of their confusion. They need your clear thinking when their own minds are clouded by fear. They need your unshakable trust when doubt is consuming them. They need to see, with their own eyes, that it is possible to face great and prolonged hardship and still find a reason to honor me. I need you to do something that will finally and permanently quiet the misleading whisper that has been speaking untruths to you for so long. When you truly grasp this, everything in your world shifts. When you begin to speak it aloud, it brings joy to my heart. When you start to live it out, it changes the world immediately around you. But the central question that will decide the course of your future is this: will you finally silence the voice that restricts you and begin to heed the voice that speaks my eternal truth concerning the magnificent person I created you to be? The deception was never just against your hopes and dreams. It was a targeted assault against your ability to voice my truth in this world. Listen closely to me, my beloved child. What happened to you, the silencing you experienced, was not without reason. It was not just a series of unfortunate events or misunderstandings. My child, the opposition you faced was aimed directly at the very core of what makes you strong and effective against the forces that stand against me. It was directed at the unique way you speak my truth, the personal way you connect with my presence, the powerful way you claim the assurances I have given you, even when all outward circumstances seem to scream the opposite. You understand this deep within yourself, don't you? You can recall that specific time when things began to change for you, when those who were closest to you began to dismiss the divine insights I had placed within your heart, when the very group of people that was meant to support and encourage you told you to be silent instead, to not rock the boat, when even your own family made light of the deep and sacred sense of purpose I had placed within the core of your being. They did not simply disagree with you. They carefully and systematically dismantled your certainty, little by little, with every condescending word they spoke, with every dismissive glance, until you began to question what you were so sure I had told you. Some of you stopped raising your voice in song to praise me because someone told you that you were not skilled enough. You stopped speaking of the visions and insights I showed you because they labeled you as unstable or overly emotional. You stopped believing that I could truly work through you because they convinced you that something that happened in your past made you unsuitable and disqualified for what was ahead. You stopped finding joy. You stopped having a clear view for tomorrow. You stopped trusting that I still had wonderful and beautiful things planned for you. Not because your trust in me had faded, my cherished child, but because the relentless struggle took away your ability to speak out, to declare your faith, to give voice to your hope. They told you that once you reached a certain age, your time of usefulness was finished. They led you to believe that your most impactful and significant years were long past. They made you think that I only work through those who are young, formally trained, well-connected, or without any fault or flaw. But hear this eternal truth that I am speaking to you right now, and let it settle deep within your inner being, overriding all the lies. The quiet time, the season of silence, was not the end of what I had purposed for you. It was the ultimate proof that your calling was real and powerful. Why do you think the one who opposes me fought so fiercely and with such desperation to keep you from speaking? Why do you think he orchestrated such a strong and coordinated effort against your ability to use your voice? Because he knows something that you have tragically overlooked. He understands that when you finally grasp the fullness of who I created you to be, when you finally open your mouth and speak the words I have given you with the quiet authority of your life's experience, spiritual atmospheres will change. Households that are broken will begin to find wholeness, and the things that hold people captive in your community will begin to fall apart. Your voice, my child, holds power from my dwelling place. Your words, when they are spoken in full agreement with me, become powerful tools, spiritual weapons against everything that stands in opposition to my will. That is precisely why the forces of darkness worked so tirelessly to silence you. But here is what the adversary, in all his dark wisdom, failed to understand. Being quiet can be a place of profound safety and learning. Difficult times can teach you more than a lifetime of ease ever could. And sometimes, I allow my precious ones to be quiet for a while so that I can give them a stronger, clearer, and more resonant way to speak. You may feel that your ability to speak, to influence, to lead is damaged beyond repair, but I see it as having been refined by the fire of experience. You may think your words hold no weight or significance anymore, but my presence is listening closely, eagerly, for what you will say next. Your time on this earth does not limit you. It provides you with unparalleled insight and capability. The marks you carry do not make you unfit for service. They are the evidence of your experience, the proof of your anointing. Your time of quiet was not a wasted season. It was a season of intense preparation. Now, my beloved, the moment I have set apart from all eternity is drawing near, and I tell you plainly, it is time. It is time to cease speaking with timidity when I designed you to speak with strength and grace. It is time to release the sorrow and regret you feel for the visions I placed directly within your spirit so long ago. It is time to stop letting the perceived limitations of other people restrict what you believe is possible for you and through you. If these words are resonating deeply within your spirit, if something inside of you is stirring to life after a long and painful dormancy, it is because your story is far from finished. Your capacity to speak out is not broken. It has been made resilient and powerful through hardship. And now, there are people all around you who desperately need to hear what I have been sharing with you in your private and quiet moments with me. But the most important question now standing before you is this: will you finally discover the courage to use the voice I have given you? There is a chamber deep within your being, a quiet and sacred place that you have avoided for a long, long while. I see you now, my child, as you hear these words, and I see something deep inside you beginning to move. Something you concealed long ago, something you sealed off because the world told you it was unrealistic, because someone you respected told you to be more grounded, more practical, because others around you convinced you that dreams for the future, grand visions of purpose, belonged only to the young and the inexperienced. But that chamber, my child, still exists. You used to express yourself so freely there, didn't you? In the quiet hours of the night, when your spirit felt unbound and free, you once spoke words that held deep significance, words that could capture the attention and the hearts of others. You used to truly believe, with every fiber of your being, that you were intended for something significant, something that would last long after your earthly journey had ended, something that would echo into eternity. What became of that person? My beloved child, I will tell you. Life happened. Difficulties came upon you with such frequency that you grew weary and stopped responding with faith. Those you depended on for support disappointed you one too many times. The hopes you clung to so tightly faded away, not all at once, but slowly and painfully, like a sunset on a cloudy day. And one day you entered that special, sacred place within you. You looked at the dreams and the visions you had set aside, the parts of your inner self you had closed off and locked away, and you whispered to yourself, "Perhaps I was mistaken all along. Perhaps I am nothing special after all." And with a heavy heart, you closed the entrance. But this is what grieves my heart, my precious one. And this is the truth that you must grasp today. I never left that chamber. While you have been navigating the surface of your life, merely getting by instead of truly living, accepting far less than what I have always intended for you instead of stepping into the abundance I have prepared, I have remained there. I have been waiting patiently, lovingly, waiting for you to remember the magnificent person I made you to be before others told you that you had to be someone different. Do you feel like you have nothing left to give? Like everything valuable you once possessed has been taken or lost? Do you feel like you are too worn down, too damaged, too depleted to offer anything of worth to anyone? What seems insignificant and broken to you holds immense and world-changing potential in my sight, my child. That faint spark of possibility you think has all but faded, that is all I need. It has always been enough. You see, where others perceive absence and emptiness, I see the precious gifts I placed within you, held safe and protected from the world. Your purpose remains alive, and the path I have set for you is still clear and accessible. Right now, as I speak these words directly to you, there are capacities and anointings I placed within you that have been developing in secret, growing richer, deeper, and stronger, preparing for their appointed moment of release. Today is not merely another point in time on a calendar. It is the designated season for the potential you believed was gone forever to finally come forth in glory. But to step into this new season, you must make a choice. You must be willing to return to that quiet chamber within. You must look again at the thoughts, the dreams, the words you recorded when your spirit was alight with my fire. You must be brave enough to open the hidden corners of your heart where you kept your most cherished hopes and dreams, the ones you thought were lost to time. See that faint glimmer of belief, that quiet expectation you once held so dear. Understand that it never truly vanished. What if the difficulties you encountered were simply preparing the ground of your heart? What if the hopes that were shattered were only making room for something far greater and more beautiful than you could have ever imagined? What if the paths that closed before you were my way of guiding you toward a time and a place when you would not need to search for an entry, but would simply step forward into what is already yours? Do you believe your years limit you? My precious child, your age is not a barrier. It is the fortress of strength built from the sum of all you have lived through. Every line on your face tells a story of wisdom gained. Every scar on your spirit is a testament that you survived what was meant to break you. But you must be willing to enter that inner space once more. The rhythm within you is more than just the pulse of life. It is the steady, unwavering beat of a purpose that has never ceased to exist. It is the eternal echo of the very reason I created you, waiting patiently for you to remember. Because a single whisper of truth from your own lips, a quiet prayer of surrender, a spoken word of faith can begin to mend the quiet damage of all those years. A simple prayer can reveal what decades of disappointment have tried to conceal. A single declaration of faith can awaken what felt completely extinguished. The potential is still present. Your purpose is still bright. The path is still clear. The inner space is still waiting for you. The obstacles you have feared will not merely lessen, they will vanish before you, for you will no longer need them as an excuse. You will simply step into being the whole, complete, and powerful person I always intended you to be. But the choice, my cherished one, rests entirely with you. Will you return to that inner place and reclaim what is yours, or will you remain looking back at what could have been? You have carried the crushing weight of names and labels that others have placed upon you. Labels like insufficient, too late, a failure, the one who didn't measure up. These words have settled heavily upon your spirit, leaving their toxic mark, haven't they? Every harsh word, every dismissive look, every single moment you were judged and found to be inadequate. But listen closely to my voice now, my child. Understand this with absolute certainty. Those labels were never meant to define you because they were never true. The world, in its brokenness, often misses this fundamental truth about how I see. When I look at you, I do not see the titles that others have given you. I do not consult the records of your past mistakes or the biased judgments of those who did not know the true intentions of your heart. When I see you, I see the name that I myself spoke over you before time even began. Understand this, my child. My speaking of your true name was not a mere possibility or a future promise that was contingent upon your actions. It was a settled reality, a finished work, a divine declaration made before you ever breathed your first breath of earthly air. Can you begin to feel the profound depth of that reality? Even as your path to this world was being set, I was already speaking the name that I know you by, a name that endures without end, a name that is etched upon the palms of my hands. While others were making notes about your presence here on earth, I was writing something eternal about you in the book of life, something that time cannot erode and that no person can erase. I do not just give you a new label to cover up the old ones. I reveal to you the genuine, magnificent person I have always intended you to be. This weighs heavily upon my heart, my beloved. It is why I keep such a close watch over spirits just like yours. You have carried a mistaken and painful sense of self for so very long. You have forgotten the glorious truth of who you really are, the name that I hold for you in my heart. Maybe it was a person who raised you, speaking words that planted seeds of uncertainty and fear in your young soul. Maybe it was someone in your years of learning who judged you by how quickly you moved or how you compared to others. Maybe it was someone you shared your life with, who made you doubt your own worthiness of receiving true and unconditional love. Maybe it was even those nearest and dearest to you who, as the years passed, unintentionally made you feel like you were a burden. The volume of those other voices has been so high for such an extended period of your life that my quiet, persistent truth has begun to feel far off and distant. Yet it is still here. It has never left you. Right now, as you hear these words, can you feel it, my child? That gentle, persistent stirring deep inside of you. It is not a wish for what was. It is your deepest self, your true spirit, recognizing the sound of its own truth. There is a reality I want you to understand, a reality that holds great and liberating strength. Every single label that others put on you was false, a counterfeit identity intended to keep you from discovering who you genuinely are in me. The one who opposes me knew from the beginning that if you ever grasped your genuine self, if you ever truly heard and embraced the name I speak over you, you would stand as an unshakable fortress against his power. So he used difficult people, testing times, and challenging circumstances to try and convince you that you were just ordinary, nothing special, easily forgotten. Because if you believed that lie for long enough, you would never dare to step into the extraordinary purpose that carries the sign and the seal of your true identity. But this season, this very moment, signals a turning point when that long-held falsehood begins to lose its grip on you. You are not unseen, my precious one. You are permanently marked as mine. Understand this. You are held so close to me, engraved upon my heart, in a way that means you are always seen, impossible to miss, and impossible to take away. It is a lasting sign, an eternal covenant that is never changing. Do you grasp the full meaning of this? Each time I move to bring good things into this world, the name I know you by is clear and present before me. Each time I act for your well-being, for your protection, for your provision, your name is right there, at the forefront of my thoughts. I, the one who made everything, know you intimately by name in this enduring and eternal way, and you still worry about what other people think of you. Let me tell you something true that changes how you see everything, my child. That hurtful label that others used for you all those years ago, it holds no place in my knowing of you. That nickname given to you by those near to you that subtly chipped away at your confidence, it carries no importance or weight with me. That difficulty with understanding your own self-worth that you have carried for such a long time. It is time now to trade it in for what is real, for my unchanging truth about you. Because this is the truth about this season. This is more than just another day, my child. It signals the moment when my gentle leading in your life will become a strong and undeniable statement of who you genuinely are. And when you finally hear it clearly, when you accept it fully, you will at last understand why those who stand against me tried so desperately to stop you from ever arriving at this time. The issue was never if I am aware of your name. The true and final question is, are you ready to move forward when you hear me call it? Do you know what truly brings sorrow to my heart? It is not the moments when you stumbled and fell. It is not the ways forward that were blocked and the doors that were closed. It is not even the broken trust that left you unsure of yourself and of others. What truly makes my heart heavy, my beloved one, is that you have come to think that your purpose is complete. You have come to believe that because time has passed, because your physical form moves differently now, Because the world constantly hints that your season of relevance has ended, that the inner light, the holy fire inside you, has been extinguished. But hear me well, my child. The simple, undeniable reality that you are still present, still taking breath on this earth, still here to hear these words, that is the clearest and most irrefutable sign that your inner light has not stopped shining. No, my child, those difficult times were not the end of you. They were the forming of you. Each time you were turned aside or rejected taught you a profound empathy for the loneliness of the human heart. Every quiet, solitary night trained your spirit to hear my still, small voice above all the confusion and the noise of the world. Every single year you spent waiting, wondering when your time would come, was actually me carefully tending to the precious potential that I knew would one day achieve the most significant things. And for you, my precious child, every single letdown you have met, every hope that seemed to disappear into nothing, every single moment you thought to yourself, this is the finish line. I have finally reached the end of my road. He was there, caring for your potential as well, protecting that flame. There is still warmth burning under the heavy ashes of your letdowns. There is still a brilliant light shining beneath the suffocating weight of your regrets. There is a strong, divine energy pulsing beneath the world's persistent failure to see you for who you truly are. You are not empty. You are being brought back to life right now. As these words touch your spirit, something miraculous is taking place. Can you feel it? That stirring inside you is not just you looking backward with nostalgia. It is not merely you wishing for what could have been. It is the very start of something glorious stirring back to life. It is the awakening of the powerful and resilient person I have been safeguarding within you through every single challenging season of your life. You felt like you were simply enduring, just surviving from one day to the next, my beloved child. But all that time, I was tending to the very core of your being, ensuring that the light I placed there would not dim, but would actually grow stronger, tempered and purified by the immense pressures you faced. Every moment you felt unseen by the world, I was observing the quiet and unshakable fortitude that was forming within you. Every disappointment that settled like dust upon your spirit was actually strengthening the ground beneath you, making it capable of supporting the immense weight of the glory that is to come. The world saw someone who was slowing down, someone who was fading, someone whose most vibrant and productive days were clearly in the past. But I saw someone who was gathering profound wisdom, someone who was being refined like pure gold, someone whose inner resilience was finally reaching its full and beautiful measure. The time of quiet waiting was not a pause in your story, my child. It was the essential and central chapter where your true strength was forged, completely unseen by those around you. It was the period where you learned to rely solely and completely on my presence when everything else in your life felt uncertain and unstable. It was the season where all the superficial layers of who you thought you had to be were painstakingly stripped away, revealing the authentic, enduring, and magnificent spirit that I created from the very beginning. Now, my precious one, that hidden strength is ready to be revealed. That quiet and powerful resilience is meant to be demonstrated for all to see. That enduring and beautiful spirit is prepared to step out of the shadows and into the glorious light. This season is about you reclaiming the ground you felt you had lost, not through striving or through force, but by simply being the person I have spent an entire lifetime preparing you to be. Do you still hear the whispers that suggest you are too tired? Do you still feel the weight of your years hinting that others who are younger and stronger are better suited for what lies ahead? Those are merely echoes of the past, my child. They are fading sounds against the clear and resonant declaration of my purpose for you. Your weariness is not a sign of your depletion. It is a testament to the incredible distance you have traveled and the fierce battles you have bravely faced. Your years are not a burden. They are the very foundation upon which your greatest impact will now be built. Think of the incredible understanding you now carry within you, the insights you have gained from navigating the complexities of life that others are just beginning to encounter, the deep empathy that was born from your own moments of profound sorrow, the unwavering trust in me that held you steady when the storms raged and threatened to overwhelm you. These are not incidental outcomes of your journey, my cherished child. They are the very tools I have equipped you with for this specific and critical moment in time. This is not about you suddenly achieving grand acclaim or standing on distant stages. It is about you living out the truth of who you are, right where you are planted. It is about allowing the wisdom you have accumulated over a lifetime to flow naturally and gracefully into the lives of those around you. It is about demonstrating, through the simple and beautiful rhythm of your days, that my faithfulness endures through all seasons, that my strength is made perfect in quiet perseverance, and that a life lived in complete trust, no matter the challenges, is a life of profound and eternal meaning. Others need to see you stand firm. They need to hear the quiet assurance in your voice that comes only from having walked closely with me through the most demanding of times. They need to witness the grace that marks a spirit that has been refined by difficulty, not defeated by it. Your very presence, carrying the marks of your journey in the beautiful light of my spirit, is a powerful and life-giving message to a world that so often feels overwhelmed, lost, and without hope. Do you feel that stirring again now? It is not a call to strive or to perform. It is a gentle but firm invitation to simply step into the fullness of who I have always created you to be, trusting that everything you have lived through was not in vain, but was essential and divine preparation. The season of your quiet growth is culminating, my child. The time for the outward expression of that deep inner reality is now at hand. Will you finally let go of the old and tired narrative that says you are finished? Will you embrace the glorious truth that says you are more than ready? Will you quiet the persistent voices of doubt and listen instead to the sacred rhythm of purpose that I have placed within your heart? This is the moment to allow that deep warmth, that enduring light, that holy fire to radiate outwards from you. This is the season I have set for you to demonstrate the profound truth that a life completely surrendered to me, shaped by my loving hand through many decades, is a life that is perfectly prepared for its most significant and lasting influence. Your finest hours are not behind you, my beloved one. They are unfolding right now, in this moment, as you choose to believe the truth of who I say you are and to step forward in the incredible strength I have so carefully cultivated within you. The world is waiting. Your time is now.